Hello Internet and welcome to this day in history for the 27th of November. Where are we today? Well, we are in Clermont in France and we are in 1095 AD. Well, what happened today in 1095? Well, it was today after instigation by, amongst other people, a certain Peter the Hermit, that the then sitting vicar of Christ, the Pope in Rome, Urban II, declared the First Crusade, with the purpose of taking back the Holy Land and the old Christian provinces in the Near East from its Muslim and primarily at this point Saracen conquerors. So, why did he do this? Well, of course, Islam had at this point been waging an almost constant 650-ish year expansive, we would today probably call it jihad, but in 650-year religiously inspired expansion from its old domains in the heartlands of the Arabian Peninsula up until it covered practically all of northern Africa, all of the Middle East, reaching into the old powerful domains of the Eastern Roman empires of Anatolia, moving over towards Iran, and of course at this point also still controlling a very big part of Spain. Several times before they had attempted to invade Western Europe as such. The most important one of these had been blunted by the French military leader and King Karl Martel at Tours in 738, of which I had made a video that will be linked below. But despite such minor setbacks, Islam was still spreading rapidly at a time where Christianity was embroiled in a lot of internal struggles and the usual round of warfare between various kingdoms and branches of royal families. However, for the last kind of century or so, but at least the kind of half a century, Christianity had gone through a rather significant military religious awakening, or shall we say, a religious awakening with a strong military undertone. Again, as I mentioned, there had been several religious reformers and popular leaders, most important of which at this time was a certain Peter the Hermit, who actually had attempted to lead a People's Crusade a few years earlier that had petered out terribly, but he had finally managed to convince Urban and several notable noblemen in Western Europe that it was time to retake the birthplace and the grave of Christ the Savior and to drive back the Muslim hordes, to use the vernacular of the time. And of course, in, as I mentioned, 1095, Urban II acquiesced and ordered the First Crusade, the holy war to unite all of Christianity, to put all other minor struggles aside, such as for the crown and the very existence of various realms, unite all of your powers, all of your troops, all of your armies, march down to the Middle East and reconquer the ancient lands of Israel. And for most part, they actually succeeded to a certain degree. Of course, as we all know, the various crusades only managed to stave off the inevitable for about 2 centuries or so, but the First Crusade was actually rather successful. It brought together forces from France and all of its various internally strifing noblemen, people and armies from the Holy Roman Empire, which was of course at its height at the time, armies even from the north, or at least mercenary troops from the north, which had only recently become Christianized, such as Denmark and Sweden. England sent various troops to help, and the First Crusade can be said to be an actually rather spectacular success, insofar as the creators created a Western-style kingdom from just south of Jerusalem up until the northern part of modern-day Syria, bordering the Roman Empire, what remained of the Roman Empire, i.e. the Byzantium Empire, in the north. And while it, of course, as we have discussed, fell apart rather quickly over the next next couple of centuries, there is absolutely no doubt that this check of Islamic dominance was what gave Christianity a chance to breathe and to rest and to restore itself and rearm until the renewed onslaught against them a couple of centuries later, now under the Ottoman Turks. But that is another story. But yes, this day in history for the 27th of November, the declaration of the First Crusade by Urban II in 1095. I hope this has been of interest to you. Until next time, I have been the Sage, and I wish you all a very happy day.